You're finding love in 2025, and I'm going to help you how to do it. All right, welcome to Patty's World. I'm a manifestation and transformational coach, and I help you shift into the highest version of you so that you align with all the desires of your heart because you're absolutely worthy. And if you have a desire within your heart, it was placed there by God. You're meant to have it. So stop with I don't know, and I'm hoping. Stop hoping. Hope is for people who don't trust, who don't believe, who don't understand conscious creation, who don't understand that you are an expression of and an extension of God. And if you have a desire within your heart, you're meant to have it. Okay, so let's talk about love in 2025. I think the majority of the people who reach out to me are those seeking love and SP, really living out and having the desires of their heart when it comes to love and the relationship and having that just fulfilled, loving, supportive relationship that we all desire. And let me just say this, what got me into conscious creation and really law of assumption, I understood law of attraction, but law of assumption, which was about 10 years ago, was because of a relationship. And now here I am married, happily married with my husband, who's an incredible man, a high value man. And he is, to me, the textbook of everything and anything that you want and desire. And I did this work myself, on myself, to attract someone at my level that I knew and I believed I was worthy of. So one of the things that I learned and I realized within myself, and the biggest tip that I can give you in order to attract love, whether it's someone that broke up with you or left your life, nobody wants you, or someone that you're just, you're imagining, you haven't met them yet, but you know they're out there, you have a feeling. So I stopped looking at things and people outside myself. I stopped trying and forcing and manipulating and trying to change things. Not that I was manipulating, but looking for things and people outside myself to make me feel good, to validate me, to level up my worth. I stopped looking for people and relationships to fill whatever void I felt I had within myself. The shift and the change came from within me. I had to shift and change who I was being. I went from the version of me who didn't have a healthy relationship, who wasn't getting the love she wanted, to who am I being? Law of assumption. Who am I assuming? Who am I assuming and believing myself to be? The version of me who sees herself, imagines herself already being in the most amazing relationship with an amazing husband who chooses her, who always puts her first, who loves her, who adores her, who has her back, who is generous, who's loving, who's honest, who's loyal, who's healed. Just an incredible husband. I imagined this relationship. Who would I be if I was already in this relationship? I created that ideal relationship in imagination. And then I thought, who would I be if I was already in this relationship? I would be someone who's confident, secure. I would talk to myself in this way. My internal conversations, my self talk would reflect this version of me. Someone who doesn't settle for breadcrumbs, who doesn't accept scraps, who has high standards, who loves herself. Because when you love yourself and you choose yourself, your standards are up here. You don't settle. You don't tolerate nonsense. You don't tolerate bullshit in your life. Your standards are up here. And it's not just in love. I realized that it was in all my relationships, work, friendships, family. Like I raised my standards in every capacity. And I thought, no, 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 no. I saw myself and stepped into the version of me who knows her worth and value. What does that mean? That I'm a fucking incredible person. I get to decide who I am. Now, what the world tells me is that in this world, I am the utmost authority on me. I don't have to accept the bullshit that people say. I get to decide who I am. Who am I? I'm an incredible person. I'm a high value person. I love myself. I choose myself. I'm absolutely worthy. I'm loving. I'm incredible. I'm intelligent. I'm successful. I'm happy. I get everything I want. And I have healthy relationships with healthy people who are healed, whole, and complete. And everyone else, I release in love and light. I wish you the best. You don't get to be in my reality. This is the version of me. This is the reality I created. This is what I accept in my life. Listen, doesn't mean we're perfect people, but this is who I am. I don't accept nonsense. I don't accept I don't accept it. Not in my reality. I release old beliefs. Anything that shows up, I want you to have this belief. And one of the things, in order to understand this and create a new identity around yourself, is that you have to step out of victim mindset. You have to really let go of that victim mindset that people are doing anything to you. You have to understand that anything and everything that shows up in your life is there to show you something about you. The world is a mirror, it's a reflection of beliefs that you have about yourself. Thoughts become things. So if you have a belief, you've anchored in a belief, and people keep showing up in a way, treating you a certain way, it is because you have a limiting belief, a subconscious belief programmed deep within you, and you absolutely can shift and change anything. It is not, you're not destined to live this way. And it will transform your life when you understand these concepts. And then everything else is really just putting it into play. It's practice. You get better at it the more you do it, the more you have awareness. I even have awareness. I'm like, oh, there's a limiting belief that I had. All right, let me flip and change this. And that's really what it is. It's like, okay, this isn't who I am. I'm choosing to no longer be this person. I am this person. I'm this person who first and foremost loves herself. I became the love of my own life. I choose me. And from that place, I push that out, and the people and the relationships in my life reflect that back to me. And my standards are up here with myself and everyone else who shows up in my reality. And it really transformed everything, because everything stems from your identity and who you believe you are. The mirror will reflect it back to you. You don't change the mirror, you change yourself. Take the attention off of what the 3D is showing you and ask yourself, who am I being? And when undesired situations show up, don't freak out. Now you know that you can shift and change anything. Circumstances don't matter. When I tell you that circumstances don't matter, who cares what anyone is saying in your reality? Things can flip and change at any moment. They have in my life. When I tell you that things have changed in my life in an instant, and this is one of the mantras and core beliefs that I have. Everything is always working out in my favor, irrespective of what the 3D is showing me. I've had something recently where there's always movement, even if you don't see it in first. The 3D is always flipping and changing to reflect who you are being. There's always movement, and things can change and flip at any moment. And it's all working out in your favor to support you, to benefit you, to get you what you want. The 3D will conform to reflect who you are being. So I want you to imagine yourself to already be in love, secure, safe, trusting, knowing that that love is there, that that person chooses you. And then that's when you get into techniques. Start doing the techniques, the visualizations, the self conversations, the self talk, imagining yourself to be already in love, that it already exists. Have visualizations about your wedding day, about your honeymoon, about your 1 year anniversary, about your SP telling you they love you, they choose you, telling you everything you want to hear, and you feel so safe and secure in love, being chosen, knowing that you're worthy. You have to step and assume the identity of someone who knows their worth and value. When you assume and dwell in this state, there's nothing you have to do in the 3D. It will naturally conform to reflect who you are being. You embody this version of you. You think from this place, you assume this identity, and the 3D will reflect it back to you. Life is always supporting you. Life always says yes. Whoever you are being, life will tell you, yes, let me give you more of this. So if you're into not being chosen and focusing on this and dwelling in this identity and telling these negative stories, that's what 3D is going to reflect back to you. And I promise you, it's an easier shift than you think. It's a simpler shift, not always easy. Sometimes we can be so stuck in an identity of not being chosen, we don't realize we're doing it. And sometimes you get somebody, it's easy for somebody like a coach, like me, who points it out to you. And then you make those easy shifts and then you practice it over and over and over. Repetition is what will imprint these new beliefs. Imagine yourself to be in love, that you're worthy of it. Assume this identity. See yourself already with this person. Imagine this person loving you, choosing you. Who are they? What would you be doing in love? What would a normal Saturday look like? A normal weekday? You start visualizing and anchoring these beliefs. The 3D, I promise you, will conform to reflect it back to you. I do this over and over and over with myself. And it's like, I'm a master manifester. I own that. I've given that self my label. I am. And you can do this. It's simpler than you think. Okay? You're worthy of it. You're worthy of living the life of your dreams.